Hello and welcome to the Frost Seymour Experience. I'm one of your hosts, Paul Seymour, and you are?
I'm Nick Frost, your other host.
Yes, the title screen starter. How are you doing, Nick? Okay?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Not too bad. A bit exhausted after the season's finally finished, but yeah, it's been good, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a long old season. No fans,
Yeah.
of course.
Ah, yes, perfect for Man City, who have won it. Anyway, we're going to do a quick video tonight, just a quick preview of everything. Oh, I do apologise, that's my phone off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to crack on, obviously, with the show tomorrow, which is the final live, so you can join us. So, without further ado, let's do it.
Yep.
Okay.
So, tomorrow,
There you go,
it's the big one. Man City versus Chelsea. Obviously, the Champions League final. Man City already 2 trophies in the bag. Chelsea, heartbreaking the FA Cup final. Big game for both clubs.
It is indeed. And obviously, Man City haven't been to this stage before in their careers. Obviously, Chelsea have been here a few times, obviously won one of them. So you think European experience would favour Chelsea, but then this Man City side is looking, quite tasty leading up to this. The only team not to have any losses leading up to the Champions League final. I think they've only had one draw. So they've been impressive.
Yeah, they are looking very strong. However, Chelsea did beat them the last time they played.
We did. And that should hold well. If Chelsea know their tactics, then they could probably still go at them again. Maybe they're bogey team.
Maybe. Let me ask you this, Paul.
Sure.
Pep, the manager of Man City, okay, he's got the leagues in the bag, he's won a few cups.
Yeah.
Does he have to win the Champions League to be considered a success as the boss of Man City, considering how much money he's spent?
I'd expect so, yeah, because obviously he has won leagues, but they're kind of getting used to this now. They've won an FA Cup, they've won countless League Cups, but to win the Champions League is the pinnacle, I think, of any big club, any club really, but just obviously the big clubs that are up there or want to be a big club. Winning the Champions League is vital for them, so I think this would be the top off, and then especially if they win the European Super Cup and then obviously the FIFA World Club Cup as well. So I think that's what he wants. He wants that world domination, even if it's just for a season.
Well, it's what he was brought in for, isn't it? And previous Man City managers have won the leagues and they've won the cups in this era, and really they've brought Pep in for the European Cup.
Yeah,
pretty much exclusively. I would have thought.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm with you completely on that one. I think any big name manager, I think Pep is probably the biggest in the world. I mean, one of the top 3 at least. This was his job. This is what he was brought in for: win consistent leagues, which he's done, and obviously then to go on and win the big one, which is he's not got this far with Man City before previously, so this will be a big one for him.
Indeed. What's your score prediction?
I'm going to go for Man City. I'm going to go for 3-1.
3-1. Wow.
How about yourself, man?
That's a bit of a spanking there on the cards.
Yeah. I just think Man City will turn it, hopefully. That's my bet anyway.
I think it's going to be 1-1 at full time. It's going to go to extra time.
Interesting. Okay.
I think Werner is going to turn up for probably the first time this season. I think he's going to have a very good game tomorrow.
That's a very bold prediction as well. Yeah, so interesting. I mean, fair play to him if he does. It'll be a perfect game to turn up in.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
but I do think Man City will win it over 120 minutes.
Overall, yeah, that's a fair show. I think we're both in agreement on that, to be honest. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And obviously, if you're watching this, catch us live tomorrow, same channel. All the links will be up on our Instagrams and Facebooks if you know us, and if you don't, we'll hashtag the heck out of it so you'll find us anyway. So we've got that to look forward to tomorrow. Obviously, we went over this last week, so we can move on to the final of the league. I believe is next up. So. Oh no, it's not. It's Golden Boot.
Golden Boot, yes, Golden Cleat for the American fans.
Yes, of course. Well, as expected, we thought, didn't we? Kane and Salah, top 2.
Yeah, it's been between the two of them for at least the last month or two, hasn't it? It was clearly one of those two.
100%. Yeah.
But Kane took it by a single goal. Both scored on the last day, of course.
Indeed. Of course, yeah. And a good question for you, Nick. Obviously, Harry Kane has shown his desires to move elsewhere. Where do you think will be the ideal fit for him in a new club?
Well, I mean, look, he's one of the greatest strikers of this generation. He'll fit in any club.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, Sergio Aguero's going end of the season. I mean, seems pretty obvious, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to win guaranteed trophies there, isn't he? So,
which is what he wants. I mean, if he wants trophies, which he does, that's what he stated.
Yeah.
Pep needs to replace Sergio, which he will.
Yeah.
I mean, to my mind, there's only one destination. But, this is football. Could end
It
up
is.
anywhere.
That's it. He could. Well, I was thinking. I mean, I don't think Manchester United will be able to afford him, but I think Man City definitely. I think they will be top of that. I think in the season that's where he'll be. Have that light blue shirt on, especially in the Champions League. It'd be a no-brainer. Be chump change getting him in. So yeah, be interesting to see. But any surprises there for you? Who've made that top 10?
I'm pretty impressed with Bamford this season. I think he's done absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
5th highest scorer in the league, having just come up from the Championship. Where even a lot of his own fans, they would say he's not good enough for the Championship, not good enough for the Championship. First season in the Premiership, 17 goals. I mean, you couldn't really ask for more, could you?
That's it, man. He nailed it, really, didn't he? Let's face it. You can't knock it, lad. He's obviously did what he did. Obviously, like you say, he got a lot of criticism before he come up to the Premier League, see if he could cut it. But he's done it. He's had several clubs before, hasn't he? And he's not quite cut the mustard, so to speak. But this guy he's turned up for Leeds this season. So, yeah, fair play to him.
Let's give a shout out to Gundogan, the central midfielder, of course. And he's smashed in 13 goals, the top scorer for the league winners.
Indeed. Heck of a show as well. I mean, obviously, he turned up when he needed to. He started off that spark, didn't he? When they were, in the midst of it all, I think, really. But obviously, after Christmas, he just went off on one and turned City around big time. So, yeah, very impressed with him. So, big shout out to him, like you say. Yeah, it's a fair play. I think that's pretty much a moderate look at it all. Obviously, top assist was also Kane. So,
it was. Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a season and nothing to show for it, really, apart from his personal awards.
Yeah.
Again.
So, yeah. 100. I mean, yeah, obviously he's very consistent, isn't he, every season, which is vital for him, especially if he wants to move to another club. But another quick question before we move on. Is any of these players your player of the season?
Oh, that's a tough question. I'm going to go for Kane as my player of the season.
You are.
The obvious answer, but what he's doing in a very effectively underperforming Tottenham team.
Yeah,
it's you can't take anything away from it. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, as a singular player in a team that's not doing so great, he stood out, didn't he? Let's face it. Yeah, so good choice.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to go, and it's going to be a shocker to you, bizarrely, because it's not my position, it's not my team, it's none of that. It's Ruben Diaz for Man City. First season, I think he's a great partnership with John Stones, of all players. Laporte was meant to be the big deal there, the Van Dijk of Man City, if you will, being a Liverpool fan, of course. But yeah, honestly, he's put in such a shift, and I think Ruben Diaz has been fantastic. I think Fernandes has done his own little thing, other than the penalties, obviously, but he's been vital for Man United, of course, as well. But yeah, for me, it's Ruben Diaz. Bit of a shocker.
Very good shout. He's vital for them. Absolutely.
Yeah, so there we go. So that's the Golden Boot winner. So we are, I think, going on to the league now. Yep, obviously, we covered it last week. But yeah, quick rundown.
Yeah, so, we covered the Man City winning the championship last week. We didn't cover the top four race, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Went down to the final day, of course. And the positions changed, didn't they, throughout the games that were in progress.
Yeah.
Leicester looked like they had it in the bag at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chelsea flopped to Villa, of course.
I know. That was a shock.
But Leicester conspired to throw it away. It's in their own hands, and they had the bag and they tossed it away.
That's it. Yeah, obviously, I'm very happy for my team, Liverpool. Of course, we had to have 5 wins on the belts, and I think we had great form towards the end of the season, which helped us. But to be only 5 points behind Manchester United, considering where we were after the Fulham game, I think we're 8th. It was only a couple of weeks ago that Man United fans were laughing because they lost to Leicester, and they thought that was it for our Champions League hopes. So, I like to see a bit of egg on their face, which is always fun. But yeah, top 4, I do feel for Leicester, 244 days. The highest amount of days in that top 4, but then to fall out, the last day, it's a shame. Did you see the game?
I did.
Yeah. Do you think that third goal should have stood for Tottenham?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've only got themselves to blame. You can't be looking for excuses. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I say, they were 1-0 up, then 2-1, wasn't it? And then they obviously lost it at the end. But it is what it is. I didn't hear too many complaints from the Leicester camp, so I think they accepted it.
Yeah, they've got to
But,
settle for the FA Cup, the consolation prize.
I know, not a bad cup to settle for, is it? Though.
Well, let me ask you: would you take that if you are a fan? You can choose being in the Champions League, but let's be realistic. Probably not going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely going to struggle to get out your group,
Yeah.
or winning the FA Cup.
So it depends on my long-term view. So if I'm thinking, okay, I've got silverware, FA Cup, brilliant. First time, won it in so long. It's a bit of silverware, like you say. It's a European place in the Europa League, of course, if winning that. So great, that's perfect. Weirdly enough, I think getting into the Champions League will give you more money, which is bizarre, funnily enough, and also will attract bigger names to your club. You win the domestic cup, fantastic. You got that silverware for your personal and maybe the country. Like, yeah, great. But if you're in the Champions League, your big names are going to look and go, "Oh, who's this Leicester squad? They seem to play well. They're in the top 4. Happy days. Let's go to them." Personally, as a fan, I prefer top 4 over an FA Cup. But that's going because obviously Liverpool have won so much in the last couple of years in terms of that big trophies. I'm not saying the FA Cup isn't a big trophy. It's a big trophy in this country. I think it's smaller over the years, like every domestic cup has in every league. But I think for me personally, I would go for a Champions League spot over that, just because of the benefits of future proofing myself.
Okay.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, if it was Rovers, I'd take the FA Cup. I'd put your hand off for that right now.
Yeah.
But I think long term, probably better to be in the Champions League.
Yeah, I think overall.
Okay.
But
So
big shout out to West Ham real quick. But then we're going to go to the bottom half of the table, aren't we?
We are. And I
There we
was
go,
about to say, looking at the league, who's your team of the season?
Apart from, let's just go back real quick. I think, wrong 2 seconds. Technical difficulties.
With us.
There we go. Picture of us. Yeah. So personally, I think West Ham have been fantastic throughout the season. They dropped off towards the end. They're my surprises. And Leeds, another big shout for them, of course. I don't think any team's been amazing. I mean, Man City have had a run, but I mean, it's obvious if you choose them. But overall, I think West Ham is my personal favourite. How about yourself?
For me, it's Leeds. Just come up, finished 9th. They play attractive football.
Yeah.
I think they were unbeaten at home against the so-called Big Six.
Yeah.
Beat Man City away. I think they beat Leicester away as well, or one of the other top teams.
Yeah. Didn't they beat Manchester United as well?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. So, fantastic achievement, really, Leeds. And they took it to us first day of the season, being Liverpool. I was like blown away. We could have drawn or lost that game. But yeah, very impressive, Leeds are. So yeah, I can't knock that either.
Yeah, and then if we look at the bottom half of the table, any surprises there for you?
Probably Sheffield United, but again, that was usual. Wolves, I think, is my surprise this year, other than Sheffield United, of course. A great season last season, but this season just weren't at the races at all, unfortunately for them.
I think we should give Aston Villa a bit of a plaudit. I mean, it's kind of gone under the radar because of how well Leeds have done coming up.
Yeah,
but they've done bloody well this season as well. Solid 11th place finish.
Yeah,
Jackie Grealish, of course, one of the stars of the season.
Yeah,
despite his terrible haircut, which rivals mine for terrible styling.
I'm slapping him in myself at the moment, but yeah, I mean, he's a young lad and he'll grow out of that hopefully. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, Villa's done well, especially when they're relegation fodder last season, and they've managed to make their way up 55 points, well away from the relegation this season. So yeah, fair play to them as well. I think they've been fantastic, and happy days.
And Palace again, another secure mid-table finish for Roy for his final season. We should shout out to Roy, the old boy.
Roy and Big Sam, of course. Obviously, those two managers leaving, along with Nuno as well for Wolves, also leaving. So yeah, it's a bit of a turnaround. It's going to be a managerial merry-go-round going forward, I think.
Well, I think those ones are just leaving, aren't they? Roy's actually retired, so
yeah, he's retired. So fair play to him. He's been a fantastic servant for all of football, I think. So
a gent of the game.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I like him. So yeah, there we go. There's our league table. So that was pretty much all what we've been covered all league season. Obviously, it's been it's had its ups and downs. Obviously, with that, its fans, obviously, we've had trouble. It'll feel much better next season, I think, with fans back in the stadiums. But yeah, overall, a decent league season. Happy to get Champions League football. I don't know about you, Nick. Obviously, you're Blackburn Rovers. Are you satisfied with your season, real quick?
Well, we finished mid-table in the end. Not really anything to write home about. At one stage, it looked like we were going to get the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then we just fell away and then recovered a bit towards the end. I think I've said before, it's time for Tony to go. But as a Liverpool fan yourself, you should make a note that Harvey Elliott was on loan for us this season. Probably our player of the season behind Adam Armstrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a few, obviously, games that he's played in, and not full games, of course, because I don't really watch much full games anymore. But yeah, he was playing fantastic. And the goals he scored, phenomenal. I was watching a YouTube video today of his goals scored for Blackburn. Bloody hell. None of them were tap-ins, were they?
No, he's one of these players where he'll only score worldies.
Yeah. So, well, who knows? I mean, might be a star of our show next season. We'll see.
Maybe.
But right, we're moving on to our final slide, which obviously coincides with what's coming up for the summer.
Yes, the Euros. Should have been last year, of course, postponed because of COVID.
Yeah.
But it means we should be in for a treat, hopefully.
Yeah.
This summer.
Hopefully. Yeah, fingers crossed everything works out the way it does. Obviously, this is the England squad. If you support other teams, obviously, check out your local nations. But yeah, England squad for us. Squad by numbers, of course, Man United are leading the way with 5 members in. Everton got 3. Villa got 3 in, surprisingly. Liverpool only got 2. But big surprise, you mentioned the guy from Leeds earlier, Patrick Bamford. Not there.
Not selected. I mean... Pretty disappointing, really.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he's not going to start ahead of Kane or Rashford, really, despite Rashford's in a pretty poor season.
Yeah, up and downs, isn't it, really? Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin, obviously, he started the season brilliantly. He hasn't done anything the second half of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing at all, really. I mean, Greenwood can be dangerous. He's got that youth on his side, so I get it. But Patrick Bamford always reminds me of those kind of guys you'd throw on and he'd just turn up and make a performance happen. I could just see him doing something. So it's a shame that he didn't make the cut.
Yeah. If you needed a goal, Kane's injured. Who'd you rather throw on, Bamford or Calvert-Lewin or Greenwood? Bamford for me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Other big names missing. Maddison from Leicester, not made the cut.
Yeah, our local lad didn't make it, which has surprised me, really. But, I think obviously the injury spoiled the rest of his season at the end, which obviously now moved out to the Euros. It's a shame he didn't make it. But I can't disagree with the midfielders there. I think each one of them, fair play to Lingard. I mean, he came out of nowhere. He was in the, fancy land at Manchester United. Now he turned up to West Ham and turned it around big time for him. So I'm happy for him. But yeah.
Yeah, probably West Ham's player of the season, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Conor Cody been selected. I think good choice there.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Wolves reflected. We just touched on it earlier, but he's not had the great season with them. I don't think anyone's in that club's had a great season. But yeah, Conor Cody's fantastic. He's solid. And a team like England, he could probably fall straight into that and make something work. But he's obviously got a few names just ahead of him. But it'd be nice to see him in that defence at some point. Yeah.
And then let's have a look at the keepers. Obviously, Henderson, Pickford and Pope. We're presuming Gareth is going to stick with Pickford as his number one, as he has throughout, which I personally don't agree with, as I think both Henderson and Pope are better keepers. How about yourself?
100% with you there, man. I think Henderson, he's not the best season at Manchester United. He's been up and down, but you know what? I'd pick him. And do you know Nick Pope? I mean, surprises me. Like, why no other big teams have gone in for him? That surprises the heck out of me. But yeah, Henderson would be my first choice, then Pope, then Pickford last. Not because I'm being biased. Maybe I am a little bit. But,
Any surprises on there that have been selected for you?
Not really. I don't get to see Bellingham and Sancho play, but obviously I know of their pedigree, so fair enough to them. Declan Rice, I don't really get to see him play much for West Ham, so probably a surprise out there. I'd probably choose Maddison over Rice, but
Rice has been very, very good. I'm surprised he's made the squad though, because considering he's been injured very recently and not been playing.
Yeah, even more reason. But yeah, Alexander Arnold made it finally. We didn't know what was happening there. We thought he had some type of hit out on the way Southgate was taking him up. But yeah, I'm glad to see him in the squad. So, I mean, just finally, just to wrap things up, because obviously we will be covering the Euros during the summer as well, which we'll get back to everyone shortly about. But yeah, in terms of this, what do you think the chances are of England actually picking this trophy up for the first time ever?
My prediction is a typical England performance. It will start well, it will look good, and then it will just fizzle out, probably in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, sounds about right, doesn't it, for England? That.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, mate. I think it'll be the quarters or the semis for us. I think we'll be out. I think the French are still very strong. The Germans, can't write them off, of course. But yeah, obviously got Spain as well. Yeah, you got a few good clubs in there, but you can still, that have made it. So clubs, countries, I suppose. But yeah, I think semi-final we'll do another World Cup job.
Okay. And is Southgate still the right man to lead England?
Well, if he doesn't win this, I don't think he'll be doing another term. I don't think he'll be there for the World Cup. I think they'll trying to get the World Cup back around, because it's only that starts Christmas, doesn't it? The following year. So it's not even a full year or 2 years away. It's not even a full year away. It's like it seems 9 months away or something daft. So well, what are we on? A year and a half. But it'll give enough time for preparation. But yeah, I think if he doesn't do well in this, he won't be at the World Cup.
Fair enough. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
okay.
That is the end of our preview. Obviously, we'll be live tomorrow with the Chelsea versus Manchester City, the big one.
The big one, indeed. Yeah, so looking forward to that. We'll start coverage just before the game starts, of course. Now, we can't show the game live, obviously, due to copyright. I've looked into this heavily. Unfortunately, I wish I could stream it like we got the screen here, but unfortunately, we can't. But we will have a screen up with up-to-date scores. We'll be watching the match. I'll have a ticker at the bottom so you can follow along and watch with us, so you can listen to our commentary instead of whoever they try to throw on there. But yeah, so we'll be live tomorrow.
There we are.
Okay, right. So until tomorrow, have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.